everyone. My sincere apologies for being late. I'm never late. I'm Japanese efficient, but today, unfortunately, clearly the machine has broken down. To Srini Raju garu on the dais, to Ravi Sana Reddy garu, distinguished founders, members of the board, industry leaders, faculty members, andarki na namaskaram. It gives me an immense pleasure to be here to lay the first step in the Sri City International University. I would like to congratulate Srini Raju garu to taking this from an idea and to actually executing on it. So whenever I meet Srini Raju garu, I always have a lot of asks. And that's my job. And I keep telling him that he needs to do more for Andhra Pradesh. And he's a man of very few words. He actually gets it done. And I'd like to thank Srini Raju garu for really building a world-class institution now here in the great state of Andhra Pradesh. It's truly a gift to the youth of Andhra Pradesh. I believe this is just the beginning. And as we discussed while we're driving in here, 5,000 students per year to start off in this campus. I'd like to just put all the stars, terms and conditions applied. 5,000 students per year in this campus, but I'm sure we'll do a lot more as we go about in our journey. Many of you know me as the IT Minister of Andhra Pradesh. I keep telling that is my India hat. But something that I'm more passionate about is actually my education hat, my Bharat hat. I'm also the HRD Minister for this great state. I truly believe that we need to unlock human capital and human potential. Only then we can deliver a lot of things. Yes, technology does change the world, no second thoughts about it, but it's education that creates people who bring about that change. And that is why education should be central to whatever we do. And that is why this event is very close to my heart. And thank you very much for having me here. I think we agreed on this day when we first met and said July 2nd we are going to do it. There's not going to be any changes, and I'd like to thank you for not changing that date. Today is not just merely starting another higher education institution or a university. I believe that it is a new way of thinking about higher education. It is what India really needs. There's a lot of debate yesterday and day before yesterday because I was with the Honorable President of India and I met a lot of ministers, including Dharmendra Pradhanji, and we discussed about the way forward for the Indian higher education system. And there's a lot of debate on, there's a need for a reset on a lot of the degrees that we actually offer. For many years, universities were measured on the number of graduating students or degrees that they offer. But going forward, I believe that we will all be judged by the transformation that we will do to humanity. So today, a degree alone is not enough. It is about enabling our students to solve problems, adapt to technology, and become lifelong learners. And I believe that Sri City International University is actually built to deliver that vision. India, as we all know, is going through inspiring times. Close to 65% of our population is under the age of 35. So it's the way you look at glass, half full or half empty. So we have to look at it both ways. This demographic dividend can become our greatest strength or our greatest challenge. And as a young politician, I'm very cognizant to both. If I was a little bit older, I could have blamed the next generation. But I'm very young, so I know that this responsibility is riding on young politicians like me. Under our visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, a lot of changes are happening in the education system, starting with NEP, to the Startup India policy, to Skill India, to Vikasit Bharat. It's giving us a sense of direction, a goal that India should achieve. And honestly, our Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhanji has also been pushing the states quite hard to look at innovative models, to lead from the front, because he understands that if one state gets it done in India today, the rest of the states, not all, but majority of the states will actually compete. And that's the message he gave me day for yesterday when we spoke about this institution. Inspired, of course, with Vikasit Bharat, I have a very tough boss. My chief minister might be 75-year-old. Pardon, he's 76. So I believe that there are 3 25-year-olds in him plus 1 newborn baby. And I'm the person stuck meeting him every day at 9:30 in the morning. Yeah, that's why my beard is graying faster. And my whoop page is actually showing that I'm older than I should be. But our goal is very clear. We want this state to lead the economic revolution of India. We are a $220 billion economy aspiring to be a $2.4 trillion economy by 2047. And for the leaders on the dais, off the dais, who know my chief minister, if he dreams, he delivers. He's a very impatient visionary. So he is driving us in that direction. We believe that this will be powered by the growth clusters. Sri City is one of that growth clusters. So imagine 22 such growth clusters. A space city, a drone city, an automotive city, a glass city. Of course, we have the AC city here. A compressed biogas city, quantum valley, an aqua city. Look at the opportunities that we present. That is where the education minister or the HRD minister has a much larger role to play. We believe that there needs to be a tight integration with the industrial ecosystem we're building and the education ecosystem that is required. When I travel across the world, when I meet world-class universities, I actually go to their centers of excellence. I go to their research centers. And for me, what's even more exciting is to bring those research centers to come here and actually tie up with, of course, Sri City International University, with the IIT Tirupati, with the IIIT here, and bring those research centers to the great state of Andhra Pradesh. I was recently in Russia. I had a chance to meet the leadership at Rosatom, and they have an institute just to focus on material sciences. So I'm now bringing them to Andhra University to help us really build the entire rare earth metal corridor in the northern part of Andhra Pradesh. So this kind of a tight integration is required for these industrial clusters to thrive. And Sri City is one of, I'm betting big on them. Clearly they have reduced my load of creating additional 75,000 jobs. So you're going to do it by 2029. I'm setting the deadline. 200 companies already here from 31 countries. What you're doing here is really magical, transformative, and you are an example of what India can actually do. So I'd like to thank both Srini Rajagaru and Ravisana Reddy for achieving this over the last 2 decades. It takes a lot of commitment. It's very important to dream this. So I don't think Srini Rajagaru gets much dreams because he lives it every day. He's a big dreamer, and then he, of course, drives all of us to achieve. So what really gets me excited about the SIU here are 3 things. The first one is the work-study model. I'm calling it the LEG model. Learn, earn, and graduate. Learn, earn, and graduate. I think this is very, very important. When Srini Rajagaru told me about this, we were driving, I think, to Career Foundation, and he was very kind enough to come for that, and he was explaining this to me. It was very inspiring, and I spoke about this model to multiple industry leaders and academicians, and they said this is exactly what India needs. And education should not merely stop when you graduate. I believe that's actually the beginning of lifelong learning. And you have to learn, unlearn, and learn more. And I believe that the LEG model is going to really transform our entire education system. The second part is how you're going to use and integrate AI. We just heard from the investors in Anthropic. Thank you for not letting us know. You should have let us know ahead of time. I'd have made some money. Yeah, being a minister in Andhra Pradesh doesn't pay much. But AI is a way of life. And I agree with you that every industrial revolution has created more jobs than it has replaced. But those jobs were created in geographies where people were ready for it. People were ready to embrace it. AI is one such great opportunity. And as a HRD minister and an IT minister, I see AI to be an enabler. And you've hit the nail on its head saying that you're not able to find the AI engineers today. AI is going to transform our entire life. Today, as a politician, we are using AI in politics. We actually, as a political party, have a digital library, 2 terabits of data. And we're using AI so that if I'm having, I'm in a press meet and I want to address the press, I can actually type and get all the information real time. It'll tell me, it'll guide me on how can I have a good press meet. So imagine a political party is using it as a tool just for, digital library. Imagine the opportunities that are available. So it's really exciting to hear that AI is going to be integrated and going to be part of this entire institution. Of course, startup ecosystem is very important. I see my sisters here. They're really excited. I saw a big smile when they walked in. Startup ecosystem is very, very important because as a state, as government, as industry titans here, we will create jobs, no second thoughts about it. But all of us do understand that SMEs play a very, very important role. Young girls like them will create majority of the jobs. So my chief minister gave me a clear mandate. As I said, he loves to give amazing targets. 1 family, 1 entrepreneur. His point is every family should have an entrepreneur. That is where AI is going to play a very important role. He's been telling us that either they should create an AI use case or at least use AI. So a farmer, someone who's selling products on a push cart to a kirana store, to AI engineers. So every house should have an entrepreneur. And Srini Rajagaru, that is my third ask. I need your support on how do we roll this entire model out, and we have to create success stories. And that's where 1 family, 1 entrepreneur is going to be very, very critical for us. To investors who are here, who have already invested in Sri City, you do understand the power of what Srini Rajagaru has done here. As a state of Andhra Pradesh, I have a very clear mandate as we go about attracting new investments. We have now created a formal mechanism where we'll reach out to investors who have already invested in our state to understand if you have any challenges and resolve those. We will have, as you will ever expand, your needs will change, your energy profile will change, you might want more green energy to more different talent. We as a state are creating a desk just to help you to grow your business, to grow your organizations in the great state of Andhra Pradesh. So as I was sharing with the colleagues before I joined this meeting, I call it the 3S model. Why you should further invest in Andhra Pradesh. 1 is speed of doing business. 2nd is stability of what we do here. Our policies stand the test of time and politics. 3rd is service. So once we agree it's no longer your project, it becomes our project. I must say that this Sri City International University is a great example of this, where I was in Russia when I cleared this project.